If this park behind me looks a little bit familiar to you, try to imagine it a year ago when it was packed with tens of thousands, indeed hundreds of thousands of refugees passing through. They'd crossed the Adriatic through Greece, up through Macedonia, and now here through Serbia, trying to make their way to their country of destination. Well, you look at the park now, there's still refugees here. They're lesser in number because the borders are blocked, and yet somehow those with money are paying the people smugglers, and they're here and they're desperate, and when they get to Hungary they get turned back, so they return here again and again, and they need help. But there's less NGOs than there used to be. But there's one NGO that was here right from the beginning. They're still here now, they're still helping, and that is ADRA Serbia. This is the train station in central Belgrade. This is where thousands of migrants were pouring through. The park, the square were all packed with people seeking a better life. And even though the vast majority of them have gone, ADRA had set up an office last year just up the road here, a refugee centre where they could come in and get help. It's still here, and Igor is in charge of it.
Well, it is clear that the first phase of this crisis affecting Europe has kind of closed in early March this year. And since then, officially, we don't have open Western Balkans route. But actually, all these involved, both public authorities, public bodies, NGOs, local NGOs or international NGOs, are working non-stop with people who are still moving slowly. What is really a major concern, invisibly. So we don't have any more police really doing official monitoring of borders, recognizing groups of refugees, showing up and giving basic protection, forwarding them to refugee centers, but smugglers doing these migration and movement not monitored. So people are more desperate to move, and nobody's protecting them officially apart from a few NGOs, and they are more vulnerable. So basically we have fewer people but more affected and in more danger of being abused of any kind. People who are stranded in Serbia, around 5,000, large number of them have tried to cross the border with Serbia-Hungary, northern border. It was like possible in some small way, now it's closed. Now there's pushback in central Serbia, some of them distributed in official refugee centers and forced to seek asylum in Serbia, although they do not want to end here, they want a proper Western European country. So they are desperate, they don't have any option but to choose to apply for asylum over here. Some are trying to do this, but their psychosocial support, psychological, mental health, and basically their condition is worse than them. So we will try to make them aware of the necessity of staying here. Over here we work with children and youth, meaning with most vulnerable, because they are usually those unaccompanied minors traveling, below 18, traveling in groups. They are more vulnerable for any kind of abuse by smugglers. And when they come here, we try to give them proper information to find out about their experiences, and so that we can learn how to help the next group coming over. And this is all we can do. So distribution, information, some distractional activities.
I like this work because I can help people. I'm from Iraq, so I can feel people here. I can feel every problem, because my family is from Syria, from Iraq, so it's very hard to work with these people, because I need all time feel good and smile to people up. Yeah. and but it's good. I like this work.
When you see the resilience of some of the refugees and the bravery, the sheer bravery, please remember no parent takes their family with children into a boat, into an insecure boat, an insecure sea, if they do this only when the insecure sea is more secure than the ground, the soil. You need a brave. You need to be. You need to be very resilient. I mean, I'm talking about parents. Now all they have is their belongings, and I think that even they have this awful good opportunity to learn about the vulnerability of human persons and how only God can help. And I think that if they encounter an authentic Christian community along the way, they will be very much open to any kind of, well, God's call. Cultural barriers are there, but they know when someone embraces them as a stranger. This is one of the points from the Bible. It really became alive to me. A stranger welcoming a stranger, and this do the mishpat, do the justice to stranger widows and orphans. Being a prophetic community should entail always two not very close activities, proclaiming the end of the world and the coming of new earth and new heaven, but also doing a proper prophetic, like emotion, like Amos did. And this is whenever you find a stranger, someone very helpless, you are called to raise your voice and to protect. And I think ADRA has this. I like that role of ADRA, being a conscience to the church.